See them and get your thoughts on the game.
I hate this team.
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is
Morning Subway!
for July 3rd, 2026. My name is Bernie Burns. Sitting right over there, she wishes she was in the sunbeam. It's Ashley Burns. Say hi to Ashley, everybody.
Dude, I am watching this cat. He walked in the room, he found the sunbeam, he laid down, and he looks like the happiest creature on this planet.
Hey, he's getting a little trimmer.
He is.
Our meal
He
plan
is.
stuff is working for him. He's
Well,
getting trimmed.
specifically, we've had him on this timed distribution of food. He's got it's like the food canister, and it distributes food in specific amounts, like 4 times a day. And what's working specifically here is that we've all stopped adding extra meals.
That's true.
He has this habit of sitting.
You up the portion size at some point and didn't tell anybody.
That's because we were going away, and I thought that the saddest thing in the world would be like if he just doesn't have enough food to get by while we're gone.
As opposed to we came back and he was round.
he was the size of a bowling ball, and the food was overflowing out of the dish. Yeah,
You might have overdone it a little bit. He has a cat sitter who comes to see him.
he does, and
When
so
we're
it's it wouldn't have ultimately been a problem. But when you're getting ready to go and you overthink all these things. So I did. So we're still recovering. He's still working off his winter weight, but it is working.
That was Christmas.
Because we've stopped giving him all these extra meals, and now he's starting to look a little bit trimmer.
Comes off a lot slower than it went on, pal.
Tell me about it, buddy.
We all learned that lesson at some point.
Been there.
God, it goes on so easy.
So easy.
I always think about treadmill time, right? When you're eating something and you see how many calories it is. And,
Then you think about how long it would be on the treadmill to work those calories back off. Yeah, I think about that all the time.
they should tell you that instead of calories or
Yeah,
kilocalories or
this bag of crisps is an hour on the treadmill.
that's it. It's just a time and that's it. You want to eat. And it
Is-
takes you
is that-
14 seconds to eat it.
is that 1 minute worth an hour?
No. And the answer is always no, it's not. It's not. But yet somehow it is.
Somehow I eat them anyway.
Somehow it is. This is actually a really crazy day for us. This is going to sound weird to people in the U.S. Today is our first day of summer vacation. And we're first week in July, right? They've been out since late May.
Summer vacation for the kids, at least where we are, is 6 weeks.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 3 months that it was when I was a kid. So they make up for it by having then a week in October and having a longer Christmas break and then another extra week in the spring. I think spring is a 2-week holiday. So they have longer holidays throughout the year, but it means the summer break is so much shorter. The kids have just got out. And we're now encountering the ambition of a child who has just been released from school for the summer holiday and has big plans.
Big plans. Very big plans.
And then it's things like, I want to go on an airplane. I'm like, where, sweetie? You don't just go to the airport and say, may I please go on an airplane? You have to, you take airplanes somewhere. She doesn't care. She just wants to be on an airplane. So I hope, Dad, you're planning on being an airplane for most of the summer.
You're staring me down while you're telling this story.
That's because you were like, where do you want to go, baby? Oh, we'll go. Why don't we go? We just go. You want to go fly to London? And I'm like, knock it off. That's not the way any of this works.
Ashley's telling our daughter at breakfast this morning, she's going, baby, you can't just go to the airport and get on the airplane. And I said, yes, you can. Don't put that idea in her head that she can't do that. Yeah, you can absolutely go do that.
Says the guy who flew to Ireland to get a Guinness. Okay?
I tried to figure out if there was a flight between Aberdeen and Inverness, just so that we could get her on an airplane.
Well, because here's what would happen is then you'd go on the airplane with her, and then I would drive the car from Aberdeen to Inverness and just pick you up at the other end because that's how long it would take.
Honestly, you would probably beat us at the same time too. I would also, by the way, be fantastic to take that flight and check a bag. That'd be great. You never know what can come up. I need 40 pairs of underwear or whatever.
Well, or you need every stuffed animal she's ever owned because currently,
my God.
she's we call her like a little bag lady because she's always carrying everything she owns with her.
Yeah. All right. Should we jump into this and go for World Cup news for today?
Yeah. World Cup news. Who's winning? Who's losing?
Okay. Yesterday in the World Cup, well, I'm pleased to announce that the Illuminati's favorite choice to win the entire World Cup did stick to the script, and they won their match. Portugal beat Croatia yesterday 2-1. There was some controversy over an offsides that was charged against Croatia, but it depends on who you ask. Of course, if you're a Croatia fan, they all say it was bullshit. It's part of this conspiracy to make Portugal win. Everyone else is like, no, it's offsides.
Those in power just made an offsides happen.
There is a thing with this instant replay, the VAR system that they've got, that FIFA's got. Like people,
is that the one that like draws the line?
Yeah, they're coming to terms with it, right? I guess it seems like it's relatively new to football. Kind of like whenever I see like they can challenge the ump in baseball, I'm still not used to that. I'm just like, what are you doing? Even though when a ump calls a ball and then they challenge it, and the ball's like right down the middle. There's a great video of it. It's like dead in the center of the strike zone. Even still, I'm like, yeah, but that's not baseball. Baseball, you get bad calls. Sometimes it happens. But
like part of it is rolling with the punches.
But that's stupid. You should make.
You should be able to. You should be able to get it fair.
Even if it's like people, well, it's only a centimeter, and if it wasn't for the computer, we wouldn't know that. But it's like it's still a centimeter. It's like there's still, if we're gonna honor this level of athleticism, you measure it in centimeters. You know what I mean? You have to. All right. Also, Spain beat Austria 3-0, and Switzerland beat Algeria 2-0. So yeah, some pretty decisive ones yesterday. Today in World Cup, we've got Australia versus Egypt, Argentina versus Cape Verde, Colombia versus Ghana will round out the day. Is Argentina versus Cape Verde? That's still round of 32? Okay, yeah, we're still in that first round of elimination play,
and then we're gonna start to close the brackets up, right?
Yes. But the real competition that's going on in the world, Ashley, that everyone is just got their eyes on. They have arrested somebody now and are going to charge him with a crime that has a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison for damaging the reflection pool in Washington.
I thought you didn't want to talk about the reflecting pool. I thought you hate the reflecting pool.
I went through the gamut of emotions today because I did say when I said how much I hate this story that somebody's going to go to prison over this stupid fucking story.
You did make that prediction.
Yeah, well, it's like not a prediction. It's just like how stupid it would be if it happened. And within the week, here it is, and it's happening. He probably won't go to prison, but they're going to go through the whole dog and pony show of like charging this guy and everything. Former Olympian, by the way.
Yeah, right. Okay, this is that person. I remember the story when this person was initially arrested.
It happened June 19th, I believe. And he said he even described himself as being, well, I'm just a curious person. And he went and started to like pull up the liner at the bottom of the reflecting pool, like leaned into the reflecting pool. According to the witnesses there who were parks employees, park officials, I don't know if they're officers or what they are, reached in with both hands and was forcibly pulling up the liner. And according to eyewitness accounts, they told him to stop. And he looked at them and said, why do you even care about this? It's not your reflecting pool. I'm paraphrasing here via game of telephone. Why do you care about this? It's not your reflecting pool. Why are you so invested in this? Starts pulling it. And it's like, I hate when somebody does something and says something. It's like you almost completely understood it. Like you were one step away to applying that to yourself. Why do you care? They work there. Like they got to be there. They're feeding their families with a paycheck.
They clocked in that day.
Right. That's their job to be there. You went to another city, I presume, went all the way to this thing, and then you're asking someone else, why do you care so much about this while you're doing it? And now this guy's going to go to prison. I ran the gamut of emotions of like, Jesus fucking Christ. They're going to scapegoat this guy over this dumb fucking thing, and somebody's going to prison. And then I went and flipped on the other side. I was like, okay, why do I care about this guy? Like, what do I care? Like, why didn't he figure out he shouldn't be so invested in this stupid fucking reflecting pool when there's so many other things going on?
Like, yes, it's dumb, but also don't touch it.
I get it. It's like, it's just too much. It's just too much.
Bernie, in stories where you hate everything about it.
I hate everything about it.
I'm going to, look, this is going to be the Friday of rage then, because I'm going to pile this one on top of you.
Can I go sit with Mush in the sunbeam while you read this? He looks so fucking happy. I'm going to take a photo from my perspective.
He looks so happy. I'm going to read you this headline first of all. Spotify confirms streaming fraud after Kalshi trader cries foul.
No, what is
Kalshi? It's like a
wait a minute, wait. Can you pause for a second?
Go ahead.
Do I want this information in my head?
No, you don't.
Should I just leave?
You're gonna go in the
I'm taking off my headphones.
So Kalshi is a little bit like Polymarket. You can create bets on stuff. Now, there's this guy, his name is Caleb Davies, and he's really big on placing bets in Kalshi about streaming performance on Spotify. So he likes to call who's gonna do well on the music charts and who's going to perform in this way. And he's like got all this like, personal analysis that he does based on how the various songs and artists are doing. And he's made, hold on, let's see. He has made $1.2 million overall across different prediction platforms with $414,000 in winnings from Kalshi's culture markets alone. Bernie, with your hand up.
Your prediction that I was going to hate everything in the
About
story.
this?
I just want to say you're not done telling the story, but you are batting 1,000 so far. I hate to talk to someone who's pitching a no-hitter. I hate everything about this story. Go ahead.
So he started noticing that the numbers, like based on his analysis, some of the numbers weren't adding up and basically accused fellow traders of sending bot swarms to manipulate streaming numbers on Spotify to make their bets happen. Right. So the idea being that like they would place a bet and then send a bunch of like bots to listen to a specific song on Spotify to artificially inflate its performance, right? There was a song Earrings by Malcolm Todd that surged to the #1 spot on a Spotify chart. And he was like, that's impossible. That's like a 1 in 77 octillion chance of that happening randomly. There's no way. And so we went to Spotify and I was like, this is fraud. And Spotify actually went, you know what? Yeah, it is. And they modified, like they went back and modified their numbers. Spotify was like, yeah, there's some serious manipulation going on. So it got confirmed that bettors are doing this.
So how would you feel if you're that artist, you hit #1 on Spotify, and then you get wrapped up with all these like Web3 bettors
I
out
know,
there
he's like,
who,
the fuck did I do?
what did I do? I just made a goddamn song and I put it up. See, this is it. It's like everything about the story. It's like, what is going on? I'll be honest with you. There are times when I feel like I think maybe I died at some point in the last 10 years because at the rate at which things are getting dumber and dumber by the day, I just feel like it's my brain just making all this stuff up.
Because it's so ridiculous. Like, well, you know how when you're in the middle of a dream, everything makes perfect sense, right? But if you try to hold on to the details, they're all like wibbly wobbly. They don't make any sense. They don't hold together.
Someone is betting on people to chart in the industry of music, and then they find out that other people are also betting on the same thing and are using robots to make sure the songs chart higher so they can make money. All of this has nothing to do with music whatsoever in any way. It's just ridiculous. It's just because they collect data and display data.
Right. It's not for the love of the music.
Anything where data can be collected and displayed is now just ripe for manipulation. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Listen, we were talking about the Portugal conspiracy theory. Obviously, I hope from my tone people realize I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form.
I don't know. They just won against Croatia. I don't know. That offsides was pretty controversial.
This is what I always wonder about the conspiracy thing. And I guess now we're talking about betting. It makes a little bit more sense. But I always feel like it's not because of money that they do it. It's like some kind of power control thing. I just don't know. Like, what do they get because Portugal wins? Why would they go through all this trouble?
A lot of conspiracy stuff is like, it's the satisfaction of being right. It's of being righter than everyone else.
But why is the conspiracy there? Like, why do they script the Super Bowl? Why do they script FIFA? Why would they do it? Like, what do they get out of it? Like, oh my God, we got one over on everybody else.
Well, it's because they've already produced all the like Portugal won merchandise. They want to end up in like one of those Super Bowl situations where like both sides print the like we won t-shirts or like merchandise, and then only one of them actually gets to put them on sale, and then the rest just like have to like ship them off somewhere that like where they won't get in trouble. But they made them all. This way they're just going to save themselves the trouble of printing winner merchandise for losers.
So it's just money. It's always money at the end of the day.
Sure.
Always money. Okay, got it. So in that vein, have one of the most American headlines of all time, modern America headlines. This is from Reuters. It's I'm just going to read the headline here. Trump Jr.'s Amazon of guns could make millions under new proposed firearm rule. So there's some rule that's going through that's going to raise the revenue of, listen to the name of this company, Grab a Gun, the online retailer where Trump's son is a shareholder and board member.
I love it. They're actually building a lot of storefronts. They're going to go in right next. They're going in right next to Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear and Grab a Gun. They're selling for everybody in the whole family.
You know how sometimes you'll get those like fast food chains in the U.S. That will combine. So you have like a Taco Bell with like a KFC, or you have I remember doing KFC with like a root beer one. A&W, and they would like mush them together, and so you'd get like the 2 fast food places in one. Grab a gun and Build-A-Bear. Could be synergy.
I don't know why the A&W has its own restaurant. Everyone's just there for the root beer. That's it. I don't
It's true.
A&W hamburgers aren't a thing. Why does Coke have a restaurant?
Right. Like they had to come up with food so that they could also sell you draft root beer.
That's why people go there. It's for the draft root beer.
Why would you go there for anything else? You were like, you know what? I think when I was young, I did like their pot pies, but I don't know if it was their pot pies or if it was the restaurant that they were attached to, their pot pies.
Pot pie at a restaurant?
Yeah, they had chicken pot pies.
So you left home where you were making pot pies, like Swanson TV dinners.
It must have been KFC.
You went out to go get a pot pie?
Yeah, you absolutely did. We used to have a tradition where like every so often we'd go to this one specific restaurant, and I every single time without fail got the chicken pot pie.
Every single time. Your family though is they're creatures of habit. I'll say that.
It's true.
We always eat at the same restaurants whenever we go see them in Utah.
We do.
And then I can at this point I think I could order for everyone in your family.
It's true. My little brother, for a period of I'd say like 2 years, the only thing he would eat at restaurants was white rice.
Yeah, or ham fried rice.
Yes.
Yeah, too. Well,
I think he eventually grew into ham fried rice, but it started out and he would just order like, you know when you get like those bowls of rice for the table at like a Chinese restaurant, it's this huge bowl it comes in. He would just get one of those and eat it all by himself.
Yeah, her brother will have the ham fried rice. Her father will have the like chicken with nothing on it and broccoli that has been shown steam as seasoning. Your mom will have whatever she wants to eat, but don't give her dessert for 4 hours because she won't have finished her meal by then.
We are creatures of habit.
When you eat, but like between me and your mom, I eat. How long do you think it would take me to eat like a full, like they hand me the plate at the restaurant. If I like pulled out all the stops, how fast do you think I can eat
14 seconds.
I could eat a plate of dinner in 14 seconds.
You know that video going around of our favorite Norwegian player, Holland, like eating like a gremlin at a restaurant, which I think is actually either not a real video or it's like a riff on like an existing.
No, it's AI.
Oh, it's AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen the reference footage.
Okay.
It's either an incredible reference they reshot or it's just AI.
Yeah, but the way that like he's eating in that video is just like shoveling it in. It's like that seems like a younger brother. Or you know those videos that we love to watch occasionally where the girlfriend will try to eat at the boyfriend's pace and she's like choking on the food because he's shoveling it in so fast. I don't know how you guys do it. Do you have like whiter throats or something? What is going on?
If your lovely mother, Peggy, and I tried that, where we tried to eat at each other's pace, we would both go to the hospital. She would go because it's way too much food way too quickly, and I would starve to death eating at her pace. I would literally starve to death.
You would be a skeleton by the end of dinner.
I would absolutely be a skeleton. You know what's crazy to me though is you talk about that video and it's just like, oh no, it's just AI. Like we just like this technology is so annoying and also so incredibly impressive at the same time. Like it's so weird. The first blush I had with this stuff was I never used Snapchat, but people were using Snapchat everywhere. And then I started seeing these videos of, remember even like the dog ear filters and stuff like that. Like just those face filters they had on Snapchat at the time when those came out, 10 years ago now?
They were longer than that, but yeah,
no,
they were
longer than
that. But they were very technically impressive.
That was a team of people that used to work in post-production that would do face tracking and face replacement and things like that. It was a big deal, and movies won Oscars for doing that stuff. And now people are just like pushing a button and doing it for a goof. You know what I mean? I was like, I could not believe.
And the fact that it can like move with you in real time. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like you don't even really hear the word deep fake anymore. Like we had a word for it because it was so new, but now it's just like we just say it goes in the bucket of AI or whatever. And of all the things I lost in my Twitter, I wish I had that COVID thing. I'm sure someone saved it somewhere, but when I deleted my Twitter archive, like some of them didn't make it into the archive because I was deleting them like every 2 months. I had a little bot that would go through and do it for me. But one of them was, I'll go back and look at my archive and see if I got it. I got into a discussion in like 2016, 2017 with Destin from Smarter Every Day, where I just made a post where I said, deep fakes should not be protected speech. And he replied to me, just because we follow each other, he replied to me and said something along the lines of like, well, that's an incredibly nuanced discussion to approach like that, like as one statement. And we went back and forth a little bit. But it's like, I wish I had that conversation. I'm sure his half of it exists online still, but I need to go back and see if I can find that. Yeah, it was just like, when I saw that stuff, I remember specifically the video of Obama kicking in a door and everyone sharing that. And like he was leaving a press conference and he just like dropped the mic and walked off and kicks the door and walks out. And everyone's like, oh, this is so cool. It's like, that's not cool. That's horrible.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, this is really horrible because it looks so realistic. I'm sure now it would look ridiculous to me if I saw it.
Right, like the way like old special effects looked so realistic when you first saw them, and now you're like, oh yeah, no, that was sweet. For me, it's like I'll get engaged by something and I'll be like, oh, that's really funny, and then I realize it's AI, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm mad at myself. Because
that's gonna happen though.
Because I was, momentarily like impressed by this thing, and I engaged with the thing, which means I'm probably gonna get more stuff like that.
People will say, "Oh my God, you're sharing an AI thing." They also didn't know it was AI probably until someone told them it was. The thing is now, I don't know about you, but I think like I now have this like filter for everything that I see. Is like, is this AI? Like I have to look around. I posted that grass blowing in the wind. And I have multiple angles of that. And I took multiple angles because I thought somebody might say it's AI. Sure enough, in the comments, people are just asking me, is this AI or not?
Yeah, no one knows what you can trust. Yeah. You don't know like what's real.
But there was always this phenomenon online, which is like you could put a video up. And let's say there was like a black frame in it. That's a common editing thing. Like where you go to put two clips together and you don't quite get them together. They don't snap together. And so you end up with like one frame of black. And unless you're like really paying attention, it's an easy thing to miss as well. It also depends on what the shots are around it. Obviously, if you're cutting from like one white background to another and there's a black frame in the middle, that can really pop and you can see it. Whatever. Let's just say there's a continuity error, something like that. You'll put a video up, right? And the video will exist for 2 or 3 months with comments or whatever, or 2 or 3 days these days. No comments about it whatsoever. One person comments about the black frame. Suddenly 90% of the comments from that point going forward
the black frame.
Are all about everybody saw the black frame. Oh my God, that black frame. What is that?
One person spotted the thing and then all the people are like, I spotted the thing.
Exactly right. And I think that's like, that's the old internet world, but the new one is now it's like, once people know it's AI, they kind of blame everybody else, but they probably would have been fooled by it too. We all have to be better about this stuff. It sucks, but we all have to be better about it.
Well, the good news is occasionally some people do pay for getting fooled by AI. I'm going to turn this around to talking about Subnautica 2 because that was the Crafton CEO was the one who went to ChatGPT and was like, how do I get out of this deal?
Yeah, the $250 million deal.
The $250 million bonus deal for based on Subnautica 2 performance. And that got overturned. The judge was like, the fuck is wrong with you? Brought back the CEO of Unknown Worlds, put them in control of Subnautica 2. Subnautica 2, doing great. It's I think they're estimating it's 4 million units. So right now, I think Crafton is still underwater, but on their way back to being not underwater from the 3 million that was, I believe, their peak underwater point.
I still wish we had a tracker for this. Somebody has to have a tracker.
Well, the maximum underwater of 3 million units, that was when Unknown Worlds was going to have their maximum $250 million bonus payout, right? And that's when Ted Gills, the founder of Unknown Worlds, that they brought back in was like, you can't fire this guy. Bring the guy back in, put him back in control of the release, et cetera, et cetera.
He's not the bad guy.
No.
The bad guy is the crop.
He's unknown. He's the Unknown Worlds guy. Or he was. He just quit.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So he got the studio the $250 million bonus. I believe the majority of which goes to the original 3 co-founders of the studio. And then some of it will also go to the developers. And now that he's earned that payout, he's like, peace, I'm out. And he's leaving again.
Bye. Yeah.
But, on his terms this time.
You got fired, you come back. That's a weird environment to come back to.
It would be a really weird environment. I don't blame him at all for being like, this is not going to work out for me. Got the game into early access. It is now in players' hands. The developers are going to continue working on it until it gets to the 1.0 point. He earned the payout for him, earned the payout for the studio. So that's all taken care of. And it actually sweetened the pot for the developers. I believe under the original deal, any developers who were at the studio in 2021 when it was acquired were part of that bonus structure, but any new employees they would have brought on after that wouldn't have been. And now all the developers are under the bonus structure. So they'll all get paid something extra for how well Subnautica 2 is doing. And he was like, and now I'm going to go.
So they maxed out the bonus and everything like that. Let me ask you a question. At the end of the day, was this good for Subnautica?
You know what? I think it was.
I think it might have been.
I think it might have been. And the reason being, you and I probably would have talked about Subnautica anyway, because we really liked the first Subnautica. And when they announced they were working on Subnautica 2, I was like, fucking awesome. This is great. And so we would have been probably following along with the development anyway. I don't think we would have talked about it as much as we have. But I do think that overall, it absolutely got the fuck you bump.
I do. Yeah, exactly. I wonder too, it's hard sometimes to remove yourself from the context in which you exist, right? But if you just step back from this and remove all this conversation around Subnautica 2, which has been most of the conversation around this product coming out, the way the video games industry is today, right, where games come out and just kind of fall flat, a lot of times, there's all this talk about studios closing left and right, all this mismanagement. If Subnautica 2 didn't have this other storyline going with it where people were talking about it, would it just be like, oh, this beloved game had a sequel that came out and it was like, came into early access and it didn't really feel complete? You know, people weren't happy with it or didn't get any traction. I think that would be the story we'd be telling. Not this. I think ultimately this was good for Subnautica.
I think it probably was as well, because it's we're in a world where there's so much coming out and there's so much noise, and you never know like what is going to grab the public. So you never know how to gain traction. You can't guarantee yourself traction with an audience. But this was something that did get people to pay attention.
They just need an Olympian to scapegoat and all this stuff. That's the new trend. That's your post-Olympics career, like Mary Lou Retton. You know, she can go like Tanya Harding. They can all go and get a.
Maybe they can add some Olympic divers into the game as playable characters.
This is probably a discussion for a different day. But I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
As someone who's covered video games and talks about video games and loves video games, I fall in that latter category. I like video games, and I like the video games I like. So there's a lot of talk about studios that are going to close. Rumored closures, speculated. Okay? And I had to be really careful here. I mean, you can hear me like choosing my words. I'm going to fuck this up, but I'm going to talk about this anyway. A lot of talk about studios closing. And they had the list. And sure enough, on that list was a developer that I'm like, oh shit, I really like that developer. I want to see their next game. It was Undead Labs is on there. And
the creators of the State of Decay games.
Correct. The State of Decay games. So State of Decay 2 came out May of 2018. It has been 8 years since State of Decay 2. And State of Decay 3 has been, I guess, in progress that whole time, if not even like initial efforts started before they put out the second one. I had to go back and look like when I was younger. Doom to Doom 2 was like 2 years, but now we're like 8 years, 10 years between stuff. Is that sustainable? I guess the question I really want to ask is, why does stuff take so long with so many people? Why does stuff take so long to come out now? And it doesn't feel like we're taking huge steps forward.
I feel like something weird happened with game development. And I know probably part of it is that as processors get more powerful and graphics get better, then there's like more demand for more accurate modeling, which then takes a lot more work, or then like you have to have like people expect more stuff in the environment, then which takes more work and so on. But something did happen where like you see it with as well, like the Elder Scrolls games, the GTA games, like the Final Fantasy games, like all these games would be, there's like a 2-year gap, here's a 3-year gap, here's a 3-year gap, and now here's like then there's like a 6-year gap, and now it's 10 plus years. And I don't think it's sustainable because of the pressure it then puts on the studio to do absolutely bonkers numbers just to break even and justify the salaries for all the employees, the rent for the building, all the computers and the stuff that they have to buy, like all that stuff for that many years. Then the sales expectations therefore have to be so much higher just to break even, right? So no, I don't think it's sustainable. And I think we're unfortunately seeing some of that probably coming home to roost.
If you want some good weekend reading, I'm sure you probably heard about it before. Read the Wikipedia entry on the video game crash of 1983, when like arcades were a huge deal. Pac-Man fever. That's probably way older than anybody listening to this.
That's the crash where famously they printed more ET cartridges than there were systems to play it on.
That was in there. Yeah. And over the course of 2 years, this is crazy. I don't know if this has ever happened before in an industry that survived. Over the course of 2 years, the video game industry declined by 97%. Imagine shrinking to 3% of your size as an industry, and then somehow a decade later still being
and then recovering from that
dominant industry in entertainment. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. And I just wonder. I was looking at that and trying to go through and see like what was the time frame between sequels of games that I loved, in previous decades. And I have to say, I kind of felt this about Cyberpunk when we were like all the hype around it, like the E3 hype about how Cyberpunk was going to be this incredible game. I think that GTA 6 is heading into potentially a perfect storm here, where there hasn't been a new GTA game in 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all talk about how games haven't really progressed. The technology really hasn't progressed that much, like as it did during previous iterations of the franchise.
Right, like it's increased, but not exponentially.
Also, the GTA 4 was not a live service game that people were playing, and there weren't those quality of life improvements constantly being made, at least not on the level that they're made on like GTA 5. So that still exists, and all those quality of life, that's all been introduced, all like the modern gaming developments.
Oh, so you're saying that like GTA 6 1.0 is going to come up against like GTA Online 10.0.
Exactly. And we've seen all the little improvements to that along the way. Were they holding stuff back that they were only going to put in GTA 6? And it's got all the hype of everything else. Like it's basically the centerpiece for the entire video game industry at this point. I just think there's a lot of factors in place to make this a huge moment where there could be an enormous letdown. I'm not saying people will be upset about the price or even the physical media part of it or anything like that. I mean, like critically, the game could be very poorly received at launch. People talk about Cyberpunk today, like they forget how poorly that game was received. Sony removed Cyberpunk from its store.
Oh, that's right.
Out of criticism for it. They pulled the game from the store, and were they offering refunds for it, right?
Yeah.
Like it was blood in the water when that game came out. And I feel like the way people talk about it now, it's like, no, it's fine. They just had to make some iterations of it. It's like, no, people hated this game. They hated it. They wanted it to fail. And if GTA 6 gets even a smidgen of that, boy, it could light fire fast, I think.
Yeah, although GTA is one of those franchises that has, and it's weird because this is sort of the 6th iteration, but has always done, in its 5 previous iterations, has done well enough that everyone assumes that it must always do well. And it probably will. It probably will do great, but there's always the risk.
But didn't Cyberpunk also, you would say on the spreadsheet, it did well, but critically, it was a dog.
Yes, when it hit, that was a firestorm of negativity.
I still think GTA 6 will make a ton of money, but I think we could be in a situation where people literally talk about GTA like, I hate this, and I hate this game, and I hate this developer. Because they did that with Cyberpunk. They did.
Yeah, it managed, Cyberpunk 4 was, and I realize it's course corrected by this point, but it was a real heel turn for CD Projekt. People, one of the reasons that it managed to be so hyped up was because they thought CD Projekt can do no wrong.
Right.
And then they came out and said, you done wrong.
Right. That's the other factor here is like you've got this momentum of never making a mistake. There's no missteps, or if there are, they're minor, I mean, what's the bad Rockstar title that's been put out, right? I mean, even Red Dead 2, people loved Red Dead 2, right?
Right.
There were arguments that it was too sappy or whatever, or something like that, but no.
Were there arguments it was too sappy?
Yeah, I mean, it was they didn't like Arthur versus John Marston, like that kind of, but like that's what I'm getting at here. The criticisms, people will say, no, here's some criticism. I'm saying in the grand tapestry of the video game industry, they were minor compared to what other developers have dealt with. GTA Rockstar, they're still due for that, whatever that is. So we could have this perfect, like this nexus, this perfect storm. We could have a dog, which is a weird thing to say about GTA.
I'm daring you to put that on a plow market bet.
Could be fuck off with that. All right, Ashley, who's helping me bomb the reviews for GTA 6 with our Polymarket bots?
All right, I want to say congratulations to Patrick Seep and Elena Cathalis. Thank you both so much for placing your Polymarket bets and sponsoring this episode of our show at patreon.com/morningsomewhere and roosterteeth.com.
All right, that does it for us this week, ending July 3rd, 2026. We will be back on Monday to talk to you. We hope you will be here as well.
Bye, everybody.